Hi everyone, welcome back to E-commerce Success by At360. Today we're going to discuss a very interesting topic. This is a question asked by someone on the Shopify subreddit. They're asking should they be doing Facebook or Google ads as a small business starting out soon with a small advertising budget. Before we jump into the topic, please like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these videos. Comment below. Each comment, even if it's to say thanks or this was interesting or to share your own opinion, it's going to be super interesting to hear what you think on that topic. And even if it's just one word, it's going to help us grow this channel, get more noticed, signal to YouTube that you get value out of these videos. So it's only going to take a second for you, but this makes really a massive difference for us. So I really thank you in advance if you're commenting or subscribing, liking. All these actions are making a massive difference and helping us reach out to more business owners and accomplish our mission of making people happy, productive, and successful. This video is brought to you by At360. I'm going to talk several times about At360 today because I think it's relevant to the question. But basically, At360 helps you manage all your ads in one place. There is a Shopify app where you can run Google ads, Facebook ads, but also mobile apps, ads and ads on the web, retargeting, and all the forms of advertising, all from one place super easily. If you want to learn more about that, I will tell you more at the end of the video. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. So this user asked on the Shopify subreddit, Facebook or Google ads for someone starting their marketing soon, selling canvases, and they have a 1,000 to 2,000 budget, which is still considered a small budget. Although for a new business, a small business, this might sound like a lot of money. If you want to do a ton of ads and bring many customers to your business, it's not too big of a budget. So Facebook or Google? Firstly, I'm surprised about whether there are other alternatives that would be worth considering. Why limit the discussion to either Facebook on one end or Google on the other end? That's also striking. I actually don't have the answer to this question. If you know why people are always asking why Facebook or Google, I'd be super interested to know why. Because it's true, Facebook or Meta, as we should be saying nowadays, because Meta includes Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So Meta and Google, or Alphabet, as you should say, but Google represents the majority of the advertising products of the Alphabet company. So these two giants together represent somewhat around 2/3 of the global advertising market, which is huge. It's amazing. It's fantastic. It's only two businesses, and they don't actually control most of the internet bandwidth or time spent on their platforms. You have many other players online, right, with the music and Spotify, for example. You have Amazon for e-commerce. You have all the other websites. You have the news. You have other social media platforms like TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. You have a bunch of random blogs and small websites in the long tail of the internet, which amount to a huge amount of traffic. So why do people always talk about Facebook and Google? I'm super interested in hearing about that. If you have a response, I'd be happy to hear. Please share your opinion in the comments. I think that's it. Just Google and Facebook are doing phenomenal work in terms of marketing themselves and communicating around their brands. People think they just have to choose between one of these two solutions. So my first element of answer is, why should you do only Facebook or Google? Like, there are many more forms of advertising that you should be doing or that you could be doing. For example, ads online, on mobile apps, in other social networks. For example, if you run ads on designer websites or painting websites, maybe it's going to be more efficient to sell canvases than targeting random people on Facebook or Google. If you run ads on Pinterest boards talking about art supply, it's probably going to be more efficient than targeting a random person on Facebook. So that introduces my second point, who you're showing the ad and what's the message, what you're telling them, is more important than where you're displaying the ad. A lot of people nowadays focus on the channel, where you're running your ad. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing is who you're showing the ad to, in what context, and what's the message, right? At the end of the day, advertising is just a way of presenting your offer, whether it's a product, a service, or just a branding message about your brand, your values, what you stand for. At the end of the day, just communicating something to someone. And you have to think about who's that someone, what's the context, how do I communicate. So you should be thinking in terms of who are my targets and how do I best reach them. And in that case, I can understand maybe, okay, is it easier to reach artists looking for art supply on Google or Facebook? Okay, if you frame things this way, I think in that regard, Google is super interesting, because in Google you have search, so the search engine where you can run promoted ads for particular keywords. So you could be targeting, high quality canvases or cheap canvases, depending on your positioning, affordable, art supply. So you could be targeting a few interesting keywords that signal an intent, a purchase intent. That's super interesting, because if you have a smaller advertising budget, you want to be targeting people who are already close to the buying act, right? If you think about the marketing funnel, so people start at the top, they need a lot of education, they need to be educated on the different types of canvases, the different types of products. They're not even like a full-time artist, they don't even know if that's right for them or not, they're hesitating, it's not the right person to talk to. If you're talking to a full-time painter who needs a ton of canvases and they're looking for high quality stuff or the right type of canvas that you're selling, they're going to be a much more efficient target for your ads, right? So you need to think in terms of funnel. By the way, we'll put in the description below, we released today an article in our blog about the 5 stages of awareness, which is a concept invented by Eugene Schwartz, talking about how people go from unaware to problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and most aware. So in advertising, if you have a smaller budget, the smaller the budget, the more you want to focus on most aware, product aware, or at least solution aware people. You don't have a ton of budget to make yourself known to people who are far from making a purchase, right? You don't have time to lose on customer education and things like that. You're not like selling a mass market product. You want to sell a product to someone who's already very close to buying, a hot audience. So in that regards, the who matters more than the where. So in my opinion, in your budget, instead of thinking, okay, should I run 2K on Google or 2K on Facebook, it's more efficient to find the artists looking for art supply on Google and finding the same people on Facebook, right? These people are going to convert more than the average user, even more than the average person interested in art. If you target people on Facebook, for example, interested in art or paintings, a lot of them are just consumers of art but not producers of art, right? They're not going to buy supplies. So instead of targeting that whole population who's interested in art, that may be too vague, too big, and you might waste a ton of budget on people who are never going to buy a product just because they're not in your target market. So you're going to be, I think, better off targeting people looking for art supplies and painters specifically who maybe use that as their profession on Facebook. That could be an interesting way to advertise. So targeting people who are painters or artists, full-time artists, and declaring that as their profession on Facebook, that might be interesting. On Google, using search, as I said, you can target specific keywords for people looking to buy these kind of products. I think YouTube, which falls under Google as well, could be super interesting for you as well, because on YouTube you can target specific channels that talk about painting and canvases and art supply maybe, and these could be very small channels, but it's going to be much better to target a small YouTube channel with a few thousand subscribers, which is all about talking to artists and how to produce art, and talking to a niche audience, but of people who are most likely to buy your product. It's going to be more efficient, playing video ads on that channel than on a 1 million subscriber channel that just talks about art in general, but you're not sure the people watching the video are going to be, painters themselves and buying the canvases. Okay, does it make sense? So my answer is, so the first answer was don't limit yourself to just Facebook and Google. The second answer is you should definitely do both, but narrow your focus on the people most likely to buy from you on both platforms and on others as well. The third answer is you should definitely at least do retargeting campaigns everywhere you can. Do retargeting on Facebook, do retargeting on Google, do retargeting on mobile apps, on the web. Wherever you can run retargeting campaigns, you should do it. Retargeting is by really far the best way of advertising you can do. It's the most efficient, most cost efficient, highest return on investment form of ad you can do, because retargeting is the process of only showing ads to people that have been on your website before but who haven't purchased yet. These people are the most aware, talking about the funnel and the different stages of awareness. People who have been on your website before, but then they had to leave, they forgot, they don't remember what's the name of your brand. They would be buyers potentially if they see you a few more times, but they just got swallowed by something else. And nowadays, with all the different things, the multitasking, the short attention span, people browsing on in their home office about something, then having to do something else, and coming back to work, then browsing for personal shopping, and they might not get to the end of the purchase act in the first go. So a lot of people leave the website. Actually, 3 persons out of 4 that put a product in a cart on an e-commerce website leave the website without making a purchase. Retargeting focuses on these people specifically, and by showing ads to these people, you can bring them to your website, and a good portion of them can actually finish the purchase process. And showing ads only to these people is going to be like finding the needle in the haystack, versus showing ads to pretty much anybody. It's going to be way more focused and way more efficient. Now you may ask, okay, but how do I run retargeting ads everywhere, on the web, in the apps, on mobile apps, on tablet, on laptops? The good news is there is an easy solution to do that, and that's Ad360, our app. So we recently released Ad360 app for Shopify. It's going to be super easy for you. In a few clicks, you can start retargeting campaigns, even if you have no prior experience in advertising, if you have no technical knowledge. It's super easy to do. You don't need any agency or any third-party external help. In a few clicks directly from the Shopify interface, you can start a retargeting campaign, which is going to show your ads. Even if you don't have ads, the app generates automatically banners, so images with your products in many formats, in all possible formats, to run ads on website, in mobile apps, in all the different placements where you could run ads. This is going to be super easy for you. This is going to massively help you bring back people to your website and get more sales, hopefully. If you'd like to know more, I'd be happy to discuss in more details about retargeting, the importance of retargeting, and how Ad360 can help you set this up. I will put a link in the description to contact us. At the moment, to celebrate the recent release of the Shopify app, we are providing a ton of free consulting and audits. So even if you are not sure you want to use the app, it's totally okay to contact us for a call. We do free audits of your website, your marketing strategy, your advertising setup, your targeting settings, whether it's on Google or Facebook or any other platform. So even if you don't end up using the app right now or ever, it's not a problem. We're still happy to help you. Our goal is to make as many business owners happy, productive, and successful. It's our mission, and so we're happy to give you a free consulting call. The link is in the description below. I wish we can talk soon, and I hope to help you achieve your goal. Thank you very much. Have a good day. I wish you a lot of success. Bye.